Some episodes may contain graphic content or sensitive topics, while all episodes will consistently feature offensive language and absurd speculations from two opinionated women on a spiritual journey just trying to figure shit out. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Hexhaven Podcast, your Midwest Mystics. I'm Heather.
And I'm Sharon.
Today we're going to talk about something very interesting. It's a cult, aka religion.
Yeah. We probably should give a little trigger warning because there's lots of abuse topics throughout this episode.
Very awful topics. What prompted us to do this is there was a recent release on Netflix, a documentary, and Sharon had suggested that I watch it, and I think I've watched every documentary on the FLDS. Mm-hmm. So originally I was like, I'm not going to watch it. I've seen it all. I didn't think there was going to be a new angle.
You didn't think there was more to the story.
Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch it. And then one night I decided to watch it, and I was about 15 minutes in, and I stopped watching it, and I messaged you right away, and I said, I think I want to talk about this, because this is a whole new angle.
Absolutely.
So this is going to be 2 episodes, listeners. The first episode is going to be about Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey. This is a 2022 documentary on Netflix, and then the second part is going to be about the Trust Me, the False Prophet documentary that was just released. And this is a side that we just really have not seen. This is a whole new part of the story. And the whole time I was like, how did I not know this was like in the headlines or going on?
Yeah, I didn't hear about any of the Sam Bateman stuff when it was happening.
No.
I didn't know anything about it until the documentary came out.
Right.
But it definitely brought up some interesting thoughts about how, like, these kinds of groups, they don't die when people are found out and punished and sent to prison. Like, obviously, we the only thing I did know was that Warren Jeffs continued to be revered.
Yeah.
But I did not realize how far that went.
Yeah, it's craziness. The Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey documentary has 4 parts, and we're just going to kind of go over each part, talk about our feelings, talk about our annoyances, we're going to talk about it all. And then, like I said, the second part will be the newest documentary. So I want to start off with just a little bit of, like, a brief history of the FLDS for anyone that may not know what it is.
Sure.
Okay? So the FLDS is the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's a lot to say.
It is.
The FLDS is a group that broke away from the LDS, which was the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Mm-hmm. Okay? Joseph Smith was the first prophet of the LDS. The angel Moroni told Joseph Smith that he could find golden plates hidden on a hill in New York. And Joseph Smith's translation of these golden plates would later become the Book of Mormon.
Yeah. Which I have to say, I completely forgot that the FLDS was Mormon. Mm-hmm. I don't know why that slipped my mind, but yeah.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yep. So then Joseph Smith returned the plates to the angel Moroni, and they were never seen again. Because everybody says that. Like, really, dude? If they were plates, where were they? Mm-hmm. So Brigham Young was the second prophet of the LDS. And I'm smirking.
Brigham Young?
Yes. And I am smirking because I don't know if you've ever seen the Broadway musical The Book of Mormon. You have not.
I have not.
I don't know if any of our listeners have, but it's fantastic if you get the opportunity. Do yourself a service and watch this. But when I watched this Broadway musical, it was the first time I ever heard of the name Brigham Young. And I thought it was a joke. I thought they were mocking, like, bring them young.
Well, here's the thing. In knowing everything that I do about the cult today...
Yes.
That's marked.
Yes. So I thought it was a joke because the Book of Mormon is written by the guys that created South Park. So I was like, oh, how funny they're calling him Brigham Young.
Yeah.
You know? But this is legit his name. Brigham Young.
Wow.
Yes. I just wanted to point that out because it's so crazy.
If that's not an indicator of where this conversation is headed.
Exactly. So the FLDS was originally called the Fundamentalists. They were forced out of mainstream Mormonism when the Mormon Church outlawed polygamy in 1904.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize it was that long ago.
Yeah. The FLDS believe you must live this life if you want to achieve the highest degree of salvation. Mainstream Mormons see polygamy as like embarrassing.
Yeah.
And then once they formed this fundamentalist group, Leroy Johnson led the Short Creek FLDS community from 1954 to 1986.
Okay.
Then from 1986 to 2002, Rulon Jeffs became the first president and prophet of the FLDS.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he passed away, his son Warren Jeffs became the president and prophet from 2002 to present.
Yep.
Okay? And present is really, I mean, this is a 2022 documentary.
Yeah.
Right? So, but I also want to point out that the first guy was the leader of the community. The second guy became the president and a prophet.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then his son became the prophet. So the first guy probably had good intentions. It was leading people.
Mr. Brigham Young did not.
No.
And
the fucking Jeffs, they are some sick motherfuckers.
Yeah, so here's the thing. While I was going through this, I was curious how far back this abuse stemmed.
Oh.
As far as the leadership went, because Warren Jeffs learned a lot of this.
He learned from his father, Rulon.
He learned from his father. And then
I was talk about that nasty motherfucker. Yeah.
So then I was like, well, how... He must have learned it from the guy before him. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I wonder how far back this goes. Mm-hmm. Brigham Young.
Brigham Young.
Wow.
Brigham fucking Young.
Wow.
All right, listeners, go get some popcorn.
Yep.
Get yourself something to drink, make a cocktail.
Yep. And if you do have to tune out on this one, we will not hold it against you.
Right.
There's a lot of very rough things that we will be talking about, and I understand if you can't talk about them. We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Part 1. So the documentary starts, and you see the quote from the Bible across the screen. The very first thing, it says, "Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord." Mm-hmm. God, it's sickening.
Yes, it is.
Throughout the first episode, we meet several former FLDS members, including members of the Jeffs family. Mm-hmm. We first meet Rebecca, or Becky Wall. Her mother is Sharon, and father is Lloyd Wall.
I really liked Lloyd Wall.
Yeah.
I thought he was the cutest.
He was like a cute old man.
Yes.
And, you know, and you see this pattern with so many families and so many people, is that they really went into it so faithful, with the best of intentions, and thought that they were being godly human beings, and they were manipulated by monsters.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But yes, he was a delightful old man.
He was.
Yes. So Rebecca's mother was Sharon and her father was Lloyd. Because polygamy was illegal, he lied on her birth certificate and said his name was Lewis Wilson.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. At age 19, she was ordered to marry Rulon Jeffs. He was 85 when they got married.
Yes. Disgusting.
It was a huge honor for her father, and he was then rewarded with his third wife.
Yeah, because the prophet he's like the Pope. He arranges all the marriages.
Yep.
And they call it the placement principle. Mm-hmm. So that's where things get real weird, because he gets to choose not only his own wives, but everybody else's. All the other males.
Which, it's so fucking disgusting. But Rebecca talks about how, and this pisses me off so fucking much, because she's 19, marrying an 85-year-old man, and she said she had no idea what sex was.
Yes.
How can any parent, especially a fucking mother, send your daughter off and not at least explain the birds and the bees to them?
Yep. Yeah.
You just left her to this fucking old man to violate her. Like,
yeah.
Fucking awful.
Yeah, so Alicia, I wrote her down. She got married to Roland when she was 20 years old. She was his 23rd wife. And same thing, when he asked her to stay for lovemaking at 20 years old, she did not know what this was. She did not know where babies came from. She thought that you could kiss a man and get pregnant.
Yeah.
Which is so fucked up.
Yeah, I'll talk about her a little bit further down in here.
Like, that shit made me so mad.
I know. You're just throwing your children to the wolves. Like,
yeah.
It's so fucking disgusting. We then meet Rebecca's sister, Eliza Wall. She's the biological sister to Rebecca. Her mother is Sharon and her father is also Lloyd. She was the 11th child to her mother and the 19th in their family.
So crazy. Yeah, because Lloyd had a first wife, right? Mm-hmm. I think her name was Myrna?
Myrna?
Okay, yeah.
Her mother Sharon was her father Lloyd's second wife.
Yeah.
Yep. She was forced to marry her cousin at 14 years old. And you're going to see that she is the fucking hero of this story. She's the one that takes him down.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
Oh, yeah, I called her Alicia. It is Eliza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elisa?
Or Elisa.
I think Elisa. But there is an Alicia in here as well.
There is an Alicia, okay.
Yes. And I want to say maybe, I'll have to go back through my notes, but I want to say Alicia and Elisa were both married off at the same time. We'll get there. Yeah, we'll get there. So then we meet Myrna and Lloyd. Mm-hmm. Lloyd was a convert that couldn't find his way in the mainstream Mormon church, and the church told him that he was to marry Sharon, his second wife. And he had 14 children with Sharon and 9 with Myrna. So he had 23 children.
That's insane.
Could you imagine having 23 siblings?
Rulon Jeffs was one of 62 siblings.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Insane.
Mm-hmm. We are then introduced to Wallace Jeffs.
Yes.
Son of the prophet. This is Warren's half-brother. And he had 62 siblings.
Yes.
Wallace Jeffs. Yeah.
Okay, so Rulon...
So Rulon had 62 children.
Yes, okay.
Yes,
that's what
32 boys and 30 girls. Wallace says he didn't even know all of his siblings. How? How could you?
Of course not. That's too many.
How could you?
They're trying to repopulate the whole earth.
And they're all living in different houses. Like,
right.
Wives 1, 2, and 3 live in this house, and wives 4, 5. I mean, when you have that many wives, you are not in the same house.
Yeah.
So you don't even know... Ugh, you could, date your own fucking family because you don't even know who the fuck they are. Like, oh, God,
That's
it's so
why
disgusting.
the prophet fucking arranges the marriages, I bet.
So, Wallace says that women were viewed as property. We all fucking know this already.
Yep.
The law of celestial marriage, you had to have at least 3 wives while you lived on Earth. Mm-hmm. If you did not, you could not reach the highest degree. If you reached the highest degree, you would be able to create spirit children, spirit worlds, galaxies, universes. You could become God, right? The interviewer or the producer, whoever is interviewing him, asks, what happens to the women? Do they become gods? And Wallace replied with a chuckle.
Yeah.
And he said, well, that's kind of a gray area. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure it fucking is. They were never taught what a woman becomes on the other side other than a wife.
Of course.
And this is said by Wallace. This is said by the girls. That's all their hopes and dreams are, is to be a wife.
Yeah, I remember conversations. I can't remember which documentary it was, but... about them saying, there was one lady who was very upset because her first husband had died And then she was remarried.
Oh, yep. We'll get to that.
Okay, yeah, and she wasn't able to... in the next life, she wouldn't be with her first husband because she had been, spiritually assigned to...
Spiritually reassigned.
I think it was to Warren Jeffs.
Is that?
Yeah.
That
absolutely.
You're reassigned, property.
Yep.
This religion needs to disappear.
Absolutely.
It absolutely does. So the status depends on how many wives you have, right? Mm-hmm. So the prophet is a representation of God on earth, like the Catholic Pope.
Yep.
Rulon Jeffs, he was supposed to never die, and he arranged all the marriages. We meet Alicia Roebuck, and it was her dream to be married and have lots of children. After high school, she asked her parents to be married, and it was called turning yourself in. Mm-hmm. So she asked to be turned in. She was ordered to marry Rulon. He was 86, and he had 23 wives at the time. She was 20. In their wedding picture, he literally had an oxygen tube in his nose.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yes. And she also said she had no idea what lovemaking was.
Yep.
When he said they were going to do it, she was like, I don't know what this is.
Well, and here's what really gets me about that. If you're raising women up for the only purpose in their entire lives is to be a wife and have kids, why the fuck are you not telling them about their bodies?
Why are you not
preparing them for what they're going to...
Not to be gross, but you remember your first time.
It was awful.
It hurt.
Yeah.
It was awful, no matter how kind the person was that you were with.
Yeah.
It hurts. That's the fact. Your first time hurt. So Warren Jeffs, his father is Rulon and his mother is Marilyn. And according to Wallace, Marilyn really pushed her sons to be close to Rulon to make them the next leaders. She claimed that prophets came to her and told her he was going to be special because he was born 8 weeks premature. And I think it's just bananas how anyone can be like, oh no, a prophet came to me. And then everybody's on board like, oh shit, really?
Right.
Fucking blows my mind. And then they show fucking a picture of Warren Jeffs. And he is a fucking dorky, awkward dude.
Gangly looking.
And I get that they're not raised with vanity.
Yeah.
But this dude is fucking ugly.
Yeah, he's just ugly.
And don't even get me started on his voice, this creepy fucking voice.
Yeah. That is something else, that's for sure.
I hear it and it makes my skin crawl.
Me too.
It's unbelievable how people can listen to him. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, I'm getting heated. This makes me so mad. Wallace goes on to say that Warren started getting real cozy with the sisters.
Yep.
Uncomfortably cozy, and the boys reported it to their dad, Rulon.
Yep.
And Rulon told them to drop it and to not talk about it ever again.
Yep. And that was the point where I said, okay, so Rulon was a piece of shit too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yep.
You don't fucking have that many wives. If you only need 3 to get up to heaven, why do you need the other 30 after that?
Right.
You're just a sick motherfucker that wants to fuck young virgins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
It's about the control and the power, because here's the thing. One of their big mottos is, for the women, is keep sweet no matter what.
Yep.
Which means things like anger, frustration, and resentment are strictly forbidden. You're not allowed to show those things to your husbands, and especially not to the leader of the FLDS or the prophet. You
always see the women, they talk in this really sweet tone at a low volume.
And that's taught.
Have you ever watched that? I think it ended being 19 Kids and Counting. But the mom talked oh, children, settle down now.
Is that the Duggars?
Yes.
Okay. I want to cover them.
I used to watch that show. I loved it. And then when the oldest son got busted.
Yeah.
With the Ashley Madison drama.
Yeah.
And then child pornography, and then it came out that he was molesting his sisters.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no.
There's a book that I am going to read because Monty, she did an interview with Amy Duggar.
Oh, okay.
So Amy wrote a book.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about buying it, actually.
Which you turned me on to a YouTube channel.
Cult to Consciousness.
What was that again? Say it again.
Cults to Consciousness.
Okay. It's fantastic. So listeners, watch it. If you're into cults, you need to watch it. The woman that hosts it, she was raised Mormon.
I think Mormon,
I believe, and got out of the Mormon church, and then now she talks to other people that have left their religion, and it's about like the horrible things that happened to them while in the religion and how they're maintaining their lives and how they got out. Like, it's a lot, but Sharon told me about this, and then I did watch an episode. She interviewed Amy Duggar. I also saw, I don't want to say too much at this point, but she also interviewed some people from the false prophet thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I don't want to say yet because I don't want any spoiler alerts.
Yeah.
And, which I thought were great interviews, and give her a listen, really.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
She has really great content, and she is so kind and respectful to the people. Like, she knows that they have experienced trauma. Mm-hmm. So she's not badgering them or, you know, she's just
judging
really,
them. Like, how could you
really
put up with that?
respectful and kind, and because she knows she came from something like that herself. So now we fast forward to August 1998. Rulin had a stroke, and Warren started taking over. He never left his side and controlled everything he did. He acted like Rulin was telling him what to say. Warren's teaching became fire and damnation. He had lots of revelations of the end of the world. In 2002, when the Olympics came to Salt Lake City, Warren ordered them to move to Short Creek. And this is like an extremely remote area, so it's another method of control. Put them somewhere that's extremely remote, has limited resources, so they have to rely on him and each other, right?
Well, and wasn't this the rapture? Where he said that we were going to be raptured?
Yeah.
And that's why they had to go to the little homestead in Short Creek?
Yeah. These people, the followers, they sold their homes, they gave up their businesses because they were told the end of the world was coming. And we see this all the time in cults, right?
Yep.
They sell off all their worldly possessions, and then guess what? Can we cue some crickets? Because nothing fucking happens, right?
Yep.
So, Erna and Jeff Black, residents of Short Creek, said it went from 2,000 people to 10,000 people. Could you imagine that?
Massive growth.
Yes, huge growth. Like, you don't have enough housing. You don't... The resources, especially in an extremely remote area. In September 2002, Rulin... And gosh, I don't remember who said this. I don't remember if one of the girls said this or if it was Wallace talking about it. But in September of 2002, Rulin looked translucent and gray when he died.
Oh, God!
Maybe it was one of the girls. Confusing.
Oh, wait. When the rapture didn't happen, though, what they told the followers was that it was a gift from God because of their faith. So they, the group, the FLDS, saved the world.
Yeah.
Is what I think it was Warren Jeffs at that point, told them, right? Because they had to move to Short Creek because of the Olympics coming. That was the beginning of the end of the world. So they were going to be raptured. They all go to Short Creek, sell all their stuff. And then when the rapture doesn't happen...
Well, Rulin dies, and then the rapture doesn't happen.
Yeah. So was the Olympics before Rulin died?
Yeah. The Olympics were in 2002, the summer.
Yeah.
And Rulin died September.
Okay.
That year, so months after.
Yeah, but he had already had the stroke, so Warren was still in charge.
Oh yeah.
So he definitely
and Warren was like,
said,
"Oh no, my dad told me that we're supposed to have sex with 9-year-olds." That's what he said. gross.
We saved the world, guys.
Yeah, but so Rulon looked translucent and gray, then he died. Everybody was a little bit confused because he was not supposed to die, remember?
Yeah, he was supposed to be immortal.
Yeah. So all 65 of his wives dressed in white for his funeral. They all thought that he was going to sit up and be renewed. They
That's
really
insane.
thought at his funeral he was going to come back to life because this is what they've been told.
Yeah.
He's never going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And here's an interesting thing. I believe Wallace said, whenever anyone questions something, they were told, if you don't understand it, put it on the shelf.
Yeah, that's another control
Mm-hmm.
tactic.
If you don't understand it, just put it on the shelf. Just another way to be like, don't ask questions.
That's not for you to worry about.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
In the weeks after, Warren was speaking as if he was his father renewed.
Yep.
Now he was convincing people that he was the next prophet.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't believe it, though. Because, remember, he wasn't really liked in the community because he was arrogant and he was creepy, and people knew that he was doing inappropriate things with his sisters.
Right.
So, no matter how much you try to keep a secret, people are still going to fucking talk.
Yeah.
Right? So, people didn't like him. But he officially became the man that could take them to heaven. So they ended up following him right off the cliff.
Yep, they sure did.
Part 2. Rulon died September 2002. All of Rulon's young wives were worried about what would happen to them. They were ordered to marry Warren now.
Yep.
He was marrying women that were considered his own mothers.
Yes, which I think is disgusting.
Fucking disgusting. I'm speechless because how disgusting that you are going to have sex with a woman that your father has had sex with.
And I didn't understand why he... Like, it made me feel sick because I knew it was like a nefarious means thing. Because...
Absolutely.
He very well could have been like... Could have reassigned them to other men.
Yeah, but there's that greed.
Yeah.
Where they were... And we'll talk a lot later about the Lost Boys.
Oh,
because
God, I haven't watched that in so long.
No, not the Lost Boys, the movie about vampires. Not.
Oh.
But there's the boys that.
Oh, yeah.
Are pushed out of the church because all the girls are being assigned to all these old fucking men. So now there's no girls left for the younger boys, the younger generation. So they get pushed out of the church. And they're referred to as the Lost Boys.
Yeah,
like
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So we hear from Dwayne Barlow, and he's a former FLDS. He says, Warren instilled a fear that you didn't want to be the one person to disagree. Mm-hmm. So it was a great driving force to keep everyone under control. Things started changing, getting stricter and boring. No more zoo trips.
As I say, they literally
videos.
said fun became a sin word.
Yep. No more playing. No more fun.
Yep. No more guns. All the members turned their guns in.
Which is crazy, though, because later they need the guns, right? Like,
yeah, and then the guns come back at Warren's behest, though.
Right.
But they
Turn all your shit over to me. And now I will keep control of it.
Yeah, the other thing is, like, this is right around the same time that the clothing options became further restricted.
No red.
No
denim,
red. Yep, no denim.
prints. They had to wear long underwear.
Mm-hmm.
And it was literally just removing all of their personality.
Yep, and then they had, like, what was it, like 5 or 6 hairstyles they could use?
They had to have... Which
are so ugly.
And
I'm
here's
sorry.
The thing, like...
No shade to anybody who wears the hair like that, but that is
right.
Not that alone was enough to make me say that's not for me.
So here's the thing: is I get that maybe in Rulon's day those hairstyles were probably pretty swanky, like high class hairstyles. But you think as generations move, like they'd be like, okay,
but
we don't have to have that floppy swoof on the top anymore.
So here's a thought, though. Warren is the one who changed the hair rules. Warren is also the one who married all his mothers.
Yeah, he's fucking disgusting.
So maybe that's why he did that. because maybe that was why he wanted all the girls to wear their hair like that, because his mommies did.
Oh, gross. Gross. Oh, it's so gross.
It's gross.
We hear from Charlene Jeffs. She's a former FLDS. She notes that a lot of the rules were focused on the women.
Mm-hmm.
The men didn't have rules. The women had rules.
Yep.
We then meet Sam Brower. He's a private investigator and bounty hunter. In 2004, there was an article in the newspaper that Warren Jeffs was kicking out young boys, and he referred to them as the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
He was leaving them homeless, hundreds of them. He was getting rid of his competition.
Yep. Well, and it was like a lot of them were kicked out for disobedience, which literally could have been as simple as them questioning what he said.
Yeah. Or you didn't wake up on time to go to work.
Yep. Or you didn't, you didn't make it to Sunday school.
Yep. It was any excuse to get rid of the competition.
Yep.
Really was.
Well, and because he used them for free labor.
Oh, fuck
so
yeah.
So even like if they were sick and tired of that shit, well, then you're fucking out of here.
Yep. I just want to note, and something we'll circle back and talk about later, but the chimney on Warren's home in the brickwork says, "Pray and obey."
Mm-hmm.
The whole city was lawless. It was run by the FLDS. They had their own fire department, their own police department. They were hand-picked by Warren.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was now owned by the church. And he could kick people out because they no longer owned their property.
Yep.
People that came from the outside had their families split because they were a threat to Warren. They were often smarter than him and had been out in the real world, so they knew he was full of shit. And there was nothing they could do about being split up, right?
Yeah.
They would have the wives remarried and the kids couldn't have contact with their dad anymore. Which I think is fucked up because here's a church or religion that's, promotes family and love and growth, but then you're separating children from their dads.
This is like a point I wanted to make sure that we drive home with listeners, is that is only because of control.
Oh, absolutely.
If a church leader is kicking out the members who question their decisions, that is about control.
Yep, absolutely.
And it just was so shitty that they tore. And again, Warren Jeffs himself had 60 siblings. It's not even it's one kid and a mom and a dad. These are multiple wives with dozens of children.
Yeah.
That now
belong
have
to somebody
their
else.
father stripped from them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The FLDS took over the businesses of the members and took all the profit. They had unlimited free labor. They were human traffickers.
Yep.
We hear from Rudy Jessup. At 12 or 13, she had a crush on Joe. They talked on the phone all night. And I'm wondering how they even accomplished that. Because I imagine, back in my day, when we talked on the phone, we actually had phones that were in one place in our house, and you had to bring that long cord around and hide in the hallway or the bathroom to talk on the phone. How in a house full of multiple moms, multiple siblings, can you stay on the phone all night?
Well, 2002,
You think they had
cordless
cell phones?
Cordless phones, man.
Oh, you're right, cordless
2002,
phones.
I was in 3rd grade.
Okay, so cordless phones, you're right. Because I'm how would you hide that?
Yep.
She talked about how she had a secret ABBA CD.
Oh, yeah!
Is it ABBA or ABBA?
It's ABBA.
ABBA?
I think it's ABBA, yeah.
She talked about she had a secret ABBA CD. I only know their music from that musical.
What musical?
It's about the girl that's getting married and she's not sure who her biological father is.
Oh, Mamma Mia!
Mamma Mia! Yeah,
okay,
that's all their music.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Onyx just did that.
Yeah.
That was their...
Gosh,
it was literally
it.
last weekend. It was their play this year.
So boys are raised that they can't talk to the girls.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and it was because Warren Jeff said it would cloud the words from God to the prophet, and then he wouldn't know who they were supposed to marry.
Right.
Which is so fucked.
Yeah, just make up another fucking lie on top of a lie on top of a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Piece of shit. Fred Jessup, the bishop of Short Creek, told Ruby she was to be married at 14, but not to Joe. I think Fred was her dad. Because her name was Ruby Jessup.
Okay.
But and he's Fred Jessup. I mean, I don't know. It could be her uncle. All these people are so interbred. But
the other thing
didn't
is...
say it was her dad, but I assume.
So, you're talking about Ruby and Joe, which they were cute.
Yeah.
Both of them are ex-members of FLDS now. They were both interviewed in the documentary. But no, Joe's last name was Roebuck, and that was the same as Alicia.
Okay.
And I didn't know if it was like her son or if it was
a sibling,
because Roebuck was her first husband's name.
Oh, yeah.
No, her second husband's name, because she was married to Rulin Jeff
first. Oh, gross.
But Roebuck was the next man that she met to. But yeah, so I'm like, I didn't know if that was her son or if it's just because they have such giant families.
I don't think it's her son because they seem like the same age.
He seemed a little bit younger, but...
Yeah, and I don't know if they were getting pregnant at fucking 12. Like...
Yeah. Well, Alicia was 20 when she got married to Rulin Jeff.
Right.
And then... So maybe it was like a cousin. It could have been like a relation to her second husband.
Sibling or something. That shit's all crazy.
But I noticed that a lot, that the last names were always like lining up. And you're like, well, are they related?
Yeah. Yeah. So Elisa Wall at 14 was ordered to marry her first cousin, whom she hated. She pleaded with Warren and he did not care. She's the one that I had said is she's going to fucking turn all this shit upside down and fucking flip the table, right?
Yeah.
Ruby had to marry her second cousin. Lisa and Ruby bonded because neither one of them wanted to get married. Mm-hmm. They were driven to Nevada to be married because they were underage, and the Nevada law was more lenient on underage marriages.
Yeah.
They get to the Caliente Hot Springs Motel. And then it shows little girl, like, shiny white dress shoes with the little straps, like the Easter shoes or the church shoes, and they're just tiny little white shoes, like, just sitting there, and I'm like, those are like little girl shoes.
Yeah. Well, like, because they were, weren't they 13 and 14 when, like, Ruby and Elisa?
They were both 14.
Yeah, so they are little girls still.
Yeah.
Like,
and you see those little shoes, I'm like, oh my god, those are like little kid shoes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Ruby wanted to run, but she didn't dare.
Yeah.
Eliza's wedding dress was soaked with her tears, she said. And then she said her mom squeezed her hand so desperately as she refused to say, I do. And I thought of that moment. Like, she for sure did not want to say, I do. She refused, but her mom, in such desperation, was just clinching her and squeezing her hand like, do this for me, please do this for me.
Because as the younger girls are married, their behavior also reflects on their mom.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. If you let down your family, that's huge. It reflects on your mom, on your dad, and then they can be punished.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a whole another aspect of the control, you know?
So we learn about Mike Watkins. He's a journalist and author. He would go to Short Creek and interview people. He was drawing attention to men controlling women and their sexuality. Rebecca Wall, we see her again, and Warren was trying to break her. She made a break for it. She reached out to her brother who had been kicked out, and in the early morning, they had the lightest security, and she just couldn't bear it anymore, so she left. She couldn't bear the thought of being married to another old-ass man. Yeah. But to leave was to seal your damnation. So she was torn.
So when you leave the FLDS, you're considered an apostate, which is the same thing as Jehovah's Witness.
Yep. So beyond physical restraints, far more powerful are the social, religious, and mental restraints these people have. They're not independent financially and are taught outside is evil. So it's fucking scary for them to leave.
Right.
Like,
well,
they know in their
thing.
heart and their mind that this isn't right, but it's so scary for them to leave.
They have no idea how to even go about it.
They have no
and
resources.
That's by design. Like,
yeah. Lisa, I have her name as Elisa, but now I'm calling her Lisa, so maybe her nickname
it's Elisa.
Elisa.
It's either Elisa or Eliza. In the later ones, hold on, I got it right. It's Elisa.
Elisa describes the first time she was forced to have sex. She reported it to Warren because everything about it felt wrong, and she thought he would help her, but he just told her to submit. So here's a young girl.
Her cousin raping her.
Yeah, that felt violated, that knew it wasn't right, went to her prophet to tell him, thinking he would defend her and say, like, oh no, he shouldn't have done that to you. This is awful. I will punish him. And he just said, well, you should submit to him. He's your husband. Yeah. What a bunch of fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Ruby also called her brother who left the church, and he came and picked her up. She was barely 15, so they were concerned about her exposing them. Warren Jeffs then called Joe and convinced Joe to bring her back by telling them that they could get married.
Yeah, and this
what a fucking snake.
So sad. Their story, like, broke my heart.
Yeah. They returned and did not get to see each other for a very long time. So he manipulated Joe and said, I'll let you guys get married if you bring her back. So she comes back thinking she's going to get to marry the boy that she loves, and she doesn't get to do it. It was just a way to manipulate her, to keep her from talking. Because if she was on the outside, she would have fucking blown shit up.
Not only did they not get to get married, but Warren kicked Joe out.
Yeah.
Which he did what Warren asked.
Yep.
Thinking that he was going to get to marry the woman that he loved.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got kicked
and then
the
Joe
fuck out.
was kicked out. Yep. So Ruby had 6 kids by the time she was 24.
Yep.
So she was continually pregnant.
Just over and over and over again.
Over and over and over again. Mike says there's a human traffic crisis in the state. The cops weren't doing anything, so he started finding the victims and started documenting it. He found out that 16-year-old Ruth was given to a 32-year-old certified police officer, Rodney Holm, who already had 2 wives and impregnated her at age 16.
This is where Warren Jeff starts to get scared.
The police officer was found guilty of polygamy, but got a slap on the wrist. The heat was on in Arizona and Utah for Warren. He now wants to move to Texas.
Yep.
This motherfucker. All right, part 3. El Dorado, Texas. They are building a huge compound. Locals had heard it was going to be a corporate hunting retreat. But a pilot, J.D. Doyle, he flew over the ranch and he started taking pictures. They were building something big and they were working around the clock.
Yeah, that dude was the best nosy neighbor.
Yeah, he was. Fuck
like,
yeah.
If I lived in that area and I had a plane, I'd be doing the same shit.
Absolutely.
Like, what are you guys doing over here?
So now Warren is no longer in Short Creek. The mayor of Short Creek said that the legal age is 16 to be married. Like, he goes and announces that on the news. He's like, oh, the legal age is 16 to be married.
Yeah.
Like, why else would you need to say that? You know?
Oh, side note real quick. Did you know that there's 38 states in America that child marriage is legal?
That's awful. And I know there is people that consistently advocate for those laws to be changed. You know, and there's states too where, like, if your parents give you permission, you can get married. Man.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Wisconsin is one of them.
Yeah.
It's different in every state, but
like if you're
there
16...
are states where you can get married at 13. There's a documentary, I want to say it was done by, like, People Magazine.
Your brain isn't even fully developed yet.
Yeah.
Like,
well, but it's because a lot of times parents sell their children into marriage.
Yeah.
For some kind of financial gain.
Well, I'd want to keep my kids so I could claim them on my taxes.
Right. It just blows my... It makes me think of, like, a dowry. Like,
yeah, oh, for sure. 100%.
Back when women were still legally classified as property.
Yeah.
And we were passed from our fathers to our husbands
Right.
with a dowry.
Yeah.
For them to take us.
Yeah.
Which is fucking crazy.
You can have her in exchange for 3 cows.
Yeah.
And a pig. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Arizona Attorney General has raised levels of concerns. Warren would pop up to perform marriages and would go back into hiding.
Mm-hmm.
Victims are reluctant to tell the truth because they would expose their own brothers and fathers and the leader.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and when he left, he also installed security cameras. They went up everywhere, and there was like a task force that was like going home to home, making sure that people were still following Warren's rules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Leisha says she didn't even know who the president of the United States was because they couldn't. And I know, because they couldn't read anything but their literature and didn't watch TV.
Yep.
Right? Warren's henchmen would go into people's homes and make sure they had a picture of Warren displayed in their home.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, cameras went up in the meeting hall and all over town to keep an eye on everyone. If you left town, he knew you left town.
Yep.
They were keeping records where people went. And this reminds me of fucking Scientology. How they keep, like, details of what you do.
Yeah.
In January 2004, Warren named off 21 men who were a key part of building the community.
4 of them were his brothers.
Okay, were they?
Yep.
I don't know if I might have noted that. I don't know.
And Wallace from the first episode, he was one of them.
Oh, yes. Warren claimed they were master deceivers because they disagreed with his position of power. They had disagreed with leadership, which was a sin against the Lord. They were kicked out of the religion, and all their wives and children were released from them and became property of the priesthood. And they needed to be reassigned to new husbands. Warren kicked out his own brother, Wallace. And Wallace had 2 wives. He had 20 children, 7 with one and 13 with another. He completely destroyed the bond between a man and his children.
Yep.
Warren wanted Alicia to marry him, but she felt she was promised to his brother Leroy. She was allowed to marry Leroy, Warren's brother. Alicia was 26, and she was actually happy. She turned out to be his favorite wife.
Mm-hmm.
Warren kicked Leroy out, though.
Yep.
And Alicia and her daughters were given to Warren's other brother, Seth.
Yeah, and I just want to note, too, that, like, Warren tried to get Alicia.
Oh, yeah. And she didn't want anything to do with him.
She did not want anything to do with him.
Yeah.
And it made him crazy.
Oh, I'm sure. How dare some woman not want to be with some creepy pedophile?
Yeah.
That has a fucking skin-crawling voice. I think that...
His voice is really something else.
His voice is awful. Ugh, I feel like that should be a form of torture. Like, he should just have to listen to recordings of his own voice in his cell.
Oh, he's already crazy.
Yes. Well, yeah. So, now we're going to talk about
that would probably
Zion.
just make him worse.
Right?
Like,
Zion was a secret. It was an afterlife that was going to happen to the righteous and the pure. It was supposedly going to be streets of gold. Everyone was happy. It was like heaven, but here on earth.
mm-hmm.
People in the community would just disappear, and it was discovered that they were taken to Zion.
And wasn't Zion, like, part of the belief system before he created Zion on Earth?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Mormon thing, the Zion, or is it just the FLDS group?
I'm not sure. I didn't investigate that. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. You only knew where Zion was if you were invited.
Mm-hmm.
So Charlene Jeffs, who was married to Warren's brother Lyle, wrote down the mileage in his car when he left one day, and when he returned, she looked at the mileage again, and then she looked on a map and gauged where he went, and then identified the dirt on his truck, and then she knew, like, he had to have gone to Texas.
Yep.
And, like,
I thought that was fucking
smart.
Yeah.
And how sneaky that she knew to do that.
Yeah.
Like, she was smart. We also meet some other members. Lola Barlow. She's a former YFZ member, which is the Yearning for Zion ranch resident. So she was someone that lived on that Texas ranch.
Okay.
Lola felt happy to be chosen to go to Zion, like many other people.
Mm-hmm.
Merrill Jessup was the bishop on the ranch, but of course Warren had the final say. Connie Barlow, Lola's sister, she talks about how she was only educated up to the 4th grade.
That is crazy.
Yeah. The local newspaper continued to report on the activity, and when the temple went up, it became national news. El Dorado residents became concerned as they learned about underage marriages. Even though authorities knew Warren was at the ranch, they didn't have enough evidence yet to arrest him. They didn't have enough victims coming forward.
Yeah.
Elisa, I'm going to say her name wrong like every time. Elisa Wall was being abused, and her constant pleas for help were ignored. She gained her independence when she started driving and was able to work at an FLDS restaurant. She got a flat tire, and a man in the community named Lamont helped her, and they formed a friendship and fell in love. Elisa was called into the office of the acting bishop. Her husband was there. And remember, she's the one that's married to her fucking cousin, right? Her husband, and she hated him. Her husband was there, and Warren was on the phone. She was caught cheating and was labeled an adulterous woman and committed the cardinal sin. Warren told Alan he did a good job and was obedient, and she was not. Lamont and Elisa ran away together and lived with other people who had left. Mm-hmm. She reunited with her sister Rebecca, and they discussed coming forward. Elisa decided to work with law enforcement. They would finally have a civil case against Warren Jeffs for accomplice to rape. This was uncharted territory. Warren was charged with 2 counts of rape and was on the run. The FBI put him on the 10 most wanted list. Side note, Ted Bundy and Osama bin Laden were also on the FBI 10 most wanted list.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something that they didn't go over in the documentary that kind of made me crazy is, so they ended up charging Warren with accomplice to rape.
Mm-hmm.
Did they charge her husband and cousin?
No.
Which is crazy.
To this day, I don't think any of those other people that had part of it were ever charged. They charged him because to them it was the most important to take him down.
Right.
We'll talk more about that in part 2 when we talk about the false prophet.
Okay. I did want to note, now that we're on to the Zion part. Mm-hmm. So I watched 2 episodes of Cult to Consciousness with Amy Draper, who was Warren Jeff's 13th wife.
Oh, okay.
And she...
14th wife?
13th.
13th. Mm-hmm. Fucking A.
So
she was pretty early on.
Yeah, and I don't remember how old she was when they got married. She was over 18, though. But it was shortly after they had gotten married that they had sex for the first time, and afterwards he had made some comment to her about, like, well, maybe you're pregnant, and she said, I hope I'm not. And to him, that was, like, the ultimate sin, and he snubbed her because he said, well, she doesn't want to have kids. And so she said that, like, she was, like, constantly, like, trying to get his attention, but it was a way that he like continued to punish her. Right. He wouldn't give her the attention anymore.
How dare you reject my semen?
How dare you not want to have kids with me? You know, but
gross.
So it was a
sick motherfucker.
It was a way that he specifically used that for their entire marriage as a way to control her and keep her pining for him. Yeah. He never gave her children, which is something that really hurt her. But she was so good with the kids that he allowed her to, like, teach the children, all of the other wives' children.
How nice.
Yeah, and there was,
Fucking prick.
when the Zion stuff happened, she was allowed to go to Zion, but she was only allowed to go to Zion because there was a little girl who she had built, like, a strong connection with the teaching, and he allowed her to go there to teach the children.
Okay.
But so, and she remembered feeling at the time, because she had let him down, and she had spent so many years now trying to get back into his good graces,
Right.
that she felt so honored
Right.
to be chosen to go to Zion with, and she wanted to go with all the kids. And when everything goes down and whatnot, she ended up holding on to that one girl as long as she could before they took her and stuff. But yeah,
that's crazy.
It was her story made me real sad, because she was like a very obedient wife who just she could never overcome that one statement that she made like 2 days into marriage.
Yeah. Like, God, who wants to get fucking knocked up your second day of marriage?
Yeah. And
especially to a man you were forced to marry.
And she was literally like, I wasn't saying that I never wanted to have children.
Yeah.
But I had just got married, and she did like him. So she wanted to enjoy him and being married for a minute before she started popping out babies.
That's such an unrealistic thing, though, too. When you're coming in as a 13th wife, you're never going to have, like, quality time with him. You're never going to have a connection. You're never going to have a future. He's just going to keep impregnating you, and that's fucking it.
Yeah.
So fucking disgusting.
It is. But that's what they're, like, raised to revere that.
Oh, absolutely.
So it, like, makes them... Yeah. You know, and that's... So, part of... I remember in, like, first or second episode, they said the teenage girls who, like, would be more independent in nature, it was their goal to marry them off quick, because if they got them quick and pregnant young, they were stuck.
Oh, yeah, and you could break their spirit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once they had a kid, you have a way to control them.
So, yep, yeah. So anybody somewhat rebellious, they wanted to get married off very quickly.
Yep.
So Warren was living the high life while he was on the run. He went to Disney World. He had his favorite wives with him, which were all very young girls.
Yep.
He wore Gentile clothing. They went to Mardi Gras in New Orleans. They went to the strip clubs. They were watching porn in their hotel room with the wives. He bought a Harley. He visited the White House. He was enjoying all the pleasures of the Gentile world. And you know, I have to think, like, being one of his wives and being on the run, like, what is going through your head that you're on the run with him and now you're watching pornography? Like, your whole world is changed. Like, this is not something you grew up watching or knowing about, and now it's just there. Like,
right.
Ugh.
Culture shock.
Yeah. And I am guessing this man has never given a woman an orgasm.
Oh, I would imagine not.
I imagine he probably doesn't even know what fucking foreplay is. Doesn't even know what a clit is. Like, fucking gross.
Yeah.
Ugh. I wouldn't even want his face in my pussy. God.
Right.
So fucking disgusting. I'm so sorry. Maybe I'll edit that out. That was really vulgar that I said that. But I'm so disgusted by this man.
He's disgusting. And
he's one of those people that, you know, like, a serial killer gets caught or a rapist gets caught and you see the mugshot and you're like, oh my God, yeah. Like, you can just tell that he's a fucking creep.
Yeah. Just by looking at him.
Just by looking at him. So all money was going to Warren. People were maxing out credit cards to pay him $1,000 a week per adult. So each adult in this community had to pay him $1,000 a week.
It was his brother that was sending him the money, and his brother was sending him like $300,000 a week.
Yep. So Seth Warren's...
Is that the one?
Jeff's, Warren's brother, was arrested for aiding and abetting. He was caught in Colorado acting as a courier.
Yep.
And he got a slap on the wrist.
Yep.
Money was transported in tomato cans. When he was on the run, they sent him $300,000 a week. What the fuck? I mean, like... I repeat.
That is a lot of fucking money.
Oh, it makes me so mad because you see the conditions of these houses are like run down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't have nice things. And I know they're not a religion that like wants to have nice material things.
Yeah, they don't want like worldly possessions, but still.
Yeah, but you should be able to own a couch that doesn't look like it should be thrown in the dump any minute now. You should be able to have nice things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that $300,000 a week, do you know how much good you could have redone into your community?
Seriously.
Like, oh, it makes me so mad. It makes me so mad because every cult that we see, the leader gets drunk with power, and they fucking have fancy cars, and they have all these nice things, but then all the people that are paying for all these nice things don't have shit.
Yeah.
And it makes me so mad. Mothers were asked to send their children to Zion. They would wake up in the morning and their children would be gone. Their husbands would tell them, never you mind, they're in good hands.
Yep.
They were taking toddlers.
Yeah.
Seth told Alicia he was taking her girls to Zion. They were screaming. Alicia wanted to please the prophet, though.
Mm-hmm.
Charlene found 2 of her sister wives gathering clothes and shoes in the middle of the night, and she knew they were taking her children. They were ages 7 and 9.
Yep.
In August 28th, 2006, outside of Las Vegas, Nevada, a vehicle was pulled over for obscured plates. Warren had his brother's ID, Isaac Jeffs, but the trooper recognized the last name. Naomi, Warren's favorite wife, was in the front seat, and Warren was in the back seat eating a salad. Warren was in prison, and it's not even close to being over.
Which is so fucking crazy.
I know. Part 4. This skinny twerp was brought into court shackled. And, oh, he looked so pathetic, and I loved it.
Me too.
You miserable piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The followers were told Warren would be let go because he was not guilty. His brother, Nephi Jeffs, visits him in Purgatory Jail, which I think is really funny that the jail is called Purgatory.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was writing down words from the prophet. How absurd.
Yep.
September 13th, 2007, Warren's attorneys tried to say it was religious persecution.
Yep.
The lawyers tried to make Elisa seem like she asked for it, and they attacked her character.
That pissed me off so much.
But we see this in so many things throughout history to this day.
Oh, yeah.
If a woman speaks up about being attacked or raped, anything, it's what did you do first?
Yeah. Well, in the...
Fuck you.
I remember seeing a clip of the prosecutor... No, it wasn't the prosecutor. It would have been the defense attorney, right? Literally, he said that her version of the story was highly improbable.
Yeah. Yeah. You piece of shit. That lawyer...
It's because they were married. Because here's the other part. Not only is there 38 states that allow children to get married, there are also, I don't know the exact number on this one, but a lot of states who do not prosecute for rape within a marriage.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
They don't think it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And thankfully, he was found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and he was sentenced to 10 years.
And I just want to say how fucking strong Alyssa is.
Yeah.
For standing up and going through... Elisa. For going through with all that, because I highly doubt that she had an easy time from the public.
Oh, no.
Even the non-FLDS members.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was so much bigger than just Warren and Alicia. Elisa. Whatever. I'm consistently saying her name wrong. I'm so sorry. At least I have consistency.
I think it is Alyssa.
I don't know. Elisa.
I think it's Elisa. Yeah.
He was doing sermons from prison, and they were visiting him and hanging on to every single fucking word he said.
Which is so weird.
In March of 2008, 6 months after Warren's conviction, he was still the prophet and very much in charge, even while he was in prison.
There was actually one little girl who was interviewed who said that hearing him, they would gather in the meeting hall and hear him on speakerphone.
Yeah.
And she actually said that doing that made her envision him as the voice of God.
Oh. Yeah.
So, like, it made him even more revered.
Oh, gosh. On April 3rd of 2008, a young woman called a crisis center. She was 16 and pregnant with her second child and being abused. The police went there with Child Protective Services. The phone call was later traced to Colorado, but at this point it didn't matter because they had seen underage girls that were pregnant.
Yeah, but can we talk about this hoax call for a minute?
Sure.
I have a hard time believing that that was actually a hoax call.
What do you mean?
I think that the word...
You think a young girl did call?
I don't necessarily know if it was the young girl, but especially with how many people had escaped at this point, I think somebody was told a story about the place and was like...
Absolutely.
I don't give a fuck, I'm calling.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely...
Because what are the odds?
Mm-hmm. Well, and here's the thing. At this point, I don't care if the prosecutor lied and said, nope, someone called us. Something needed to be done, and they needed some grounds to do it.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't care who fucking hoaxed this call, but it started a movement.
Yes.
Yes. So in Texas law, seeing the underage girls pregnant is evidence of a crime in plain sight.
Mm-hmm.
So then it became a crisis. Relicia Roebuck, Alicia's daughter, she was a ranch resident and she had never seen a Gentile person before.
Which is crazy.
I know. It's wild to think how sheltered they are. The police and Child Protective Services took the children. Do you remember how many children there were?
I don't remember exactly how many.
There were 416 kids out there.
Yeah.
And it shocked them.
Yeah.
The FLDS launched a campaign that the state was ripping families apart. Up to this point, Warren had never utilized the media for his benefit. The way they speak, oh, God, like interviewing those women.
It's frustrating and it's conflicting for me because that situation was traumatizing for a lot of those kids and a lot of those women.
Oh,
and
sure.
He weaponized their suffering, the mothers, because some of them, especially the older ones, those bitches were playing for a camera, but you could see like the pain that some of those women truly did have. So
sure.
It wasn't that much of a stretch for the public to say, like, to be on their side.
Right.
Because the pain is real.
Right. They're really being persecuted for his crimes.
Mm-hmm.
So they really have no sympathy from the gentile world.
Right.
Because they're mixing them all together.
Right. But that campaign did sway some minds.
Yeah.
And that was why Warren put it into motion.
Yeah, but there was no talk about how Warren had taken away so many children before. Mm-hmm. You know? At first I felt bad for the mothers, but...
Well, because here's the thing. They did get their kids taken.
Yes.
And I have a lot of sympathy for the women in that situation. But think about how many moms
had their kids taken out of their homes in the middle of the fucking night.
Well, I know.
So now they know.
But some of those women at the things were there with their children, and their children got taken too.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You know, and even like Alicia, she went along with that because she just wanted her kids back so bad.
Right.
And her kids had been taken to Zion.
Yeah, her husband. And her second.
I'm sure you're going to get into that a little bit. It was her third husband, but...
Yeah.
So she went along with it because she just wanted her babies back.
Yeah, 4 days after the raid, Alicia had to claim her children. Mm-hmm. And she was grateful to get her children back. And it had been almost a year since she had seen them.
Yeah.
And the FLDS attorney told Alicia that she had to lie and tell them that she gave up her children. Mm-hmm. She couldn't say like they were taken from her.
Yeah.
May 29th, 2008... 8 weeks after the raid, the Texas Supreme Court ruled that all the children be returned to the parents. They couldn't handle the political heat, and CPS just wiped their hands
and
of it.
that is because of their strategic campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And because they did gain the sympathy of the public.
Yeah. And it's not
because
the children's fault.
It's not the children's fault.
Be reunited with
and
their parents.
From the outside, like, when all this was happening, it absolutely looked like, because they were polygamists, they were being targeted. That's the campaign that they ran.
Right.
And they were successful because a lot of people believed it, and that's why CPS was like, fuck this, we're done.
Right. Yeah.
Which, fuck them, because they made that whole situation a shit show.
They did. It was a shit show only because they had no idea how many. They thought maybe they were going to pick up 50 to 100 kids.
I was going to say, they had no idea on the scope.
They had no idea there was going to be 416. I can't even imagine there's enough foster homes or foster parents to take in that amount of children overnight or for weeks.
Right.
And what a burden on the state that becomes then, too.
Right.
Don't even get me started about the fucking welfare fraud within this FLDS community.
But then, like, the thing is, too, on top of that,
like,
these
sponging
kids,
off the fucking state.
It's not like they're like, oh, thank you so much for rescuing us.
Right.
They're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You tore my family apart. I just want to go home. Like, they don't understand how fucked up the scenario that they were living in is.
No, they have no idea.
It's a complete shit show.
It is. The Texas authorities worked with Rebecca because they needed an insider to help them. She was married to Rulin, so she knew that they kept detailed records and they were in a secret room.
Yep.
Rebecca and Elisa went to Texas together. They found an all-white room on the 4th floor with a white bed.
Of the temple. 4th floor of the temple.
Yes.
Right?
They found a vault and jackhammered through the wall, and they found all the records. Now the world can see that Warren is a monster. They found recordings of heavenly sessions where he recorded a conversation with a 12-year-old girl explaining what they needed to do. They found temple bed instructions. Mm-hmm. The wives were heard on the recordings of him raping a little girl.
Yeah, I don't know how many women were there, but it was like this mousy little, all of a sudden you just hear these couple of voices.
Yeah.
Just barely saying like amen or something.
Well, and I'm sure he probably was like, oh, I got a new wife. Everybody must attend our sex ceremony.
It's the same thing with Sam Bateman is we have to show the younger ones what to do.
Yeah. Oh, don't talk about that yet. No. We're save that fucking piece of shit for part 2. Man, my curse words are out of control.
But Warren Jeffs, that's what all of this was.
2011, facing new trial in Texas for felony sexual assault. They played the tape to the jurors. He is found guilty of raping a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old. They submitted additional evidence at his sentencing. He conducted marriages of 67 underage girls to FLDS men.
Disgusting.
Warren had 78 wives, 24 of which were underage. They gave him 100 plus years.
Yep.
Hell motherfucking yes.
Mm-hmm.
2021, Short Creek. Still running the church, and they're still fucking following him. He's releasing revelations. A lot of the followers don't even know why he's in prison, if they even know he's in prison.
And we're not talking like 100 people here. We're still talking thousands of people.
Yes. There is still thousands and thousands of FLDS members. Mm-hmm. So Rebecca and Elisa's mom is still a member of the church. Elisa left in 2004. Ruby Jessup left in 2012, and she has no idea where her mom is. Mm-hmm. Charlene's Jeffs left in 2015, and she has 8 children still in the church. She's the one that her 7 and 9-year-old got taken from her in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. Lola Barlow left in 2015. Her brothers Arthur and Edward are out, but the rest of her family remains in. And, of course, they're not allowed to talk to their family.
Yep.
Alicia moved back to the creek as part of her healing process. Alicia Roebuck also left with her children.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of want to end this...
On the ending?
On a statement that is made. And
by Alicia?
That says, every single person in the FLDS has a family member they haven't seen in years.
Wow, yeah. That wasn't what I thought you were going to say, but yeah.
Isn't that crazy to think about that? Like, every single person is missing a family member.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking crazy. What did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to talk about Alicia's ending, because it ended the whole documentary, and I thought it was pretty beautiful, where she was packing up her kids and everything, and she had her mother and brother come and grab them.
And her U-Haul.
And yep, she was driving behind the U-Haul on the road, and it opened up and all of her stuff went out.
Yeah.
And she said, well, now I have to start all the way over.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, that is pretty... Like, I would have taken that as, like, a divine sign.
Oh, absolutely. I've been like, this is a sign.
Yeah.
So there you have it. There you have it, people.
Yep. So that
I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know that we talked about some pretty gross stuff.
Yeah.
And,
I'm going to mention the resource that they mentioned at the end of the documentary if you or somebody that you know is going through a situation like this. It's www.wannatalkaboutit.com.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we hope you liked this episode. Tune in for part 2.
We can talk about another sick motherfucker named Sam Bateman.
Yep. All right. Thanks for listening. Check us out on all the socials. We
Adios.
appreciate you. Bye.
Original theme music for Hexhaven Podcast has been written, recorded, and produced by Matt Shook.